Hi, and thanks a lot for joining me today. If you're watching in rerun, thanks for checking in. This is Karen Sullivan at lifehealthmore.net, and I am bringing you wellness ingredient number 3. Now, as I was mentioning to everybody, I am interested in 2018 to not only helping you to be the best version of yourself, but help you to build real holistic wellness where it's well-rounded. And today I'm talking about ingredient 3 of the 8 ingredients for this holistic wellness. It's an approach that I take with my one-on-one coaching clients. I've been doing it probably the past 15 years, and I'm just trying to make it available to everybody so you'll understand that, there's more to getting in shape than just diet and exercise. There truly is. So today, that's what we're talking about. Lifehealthmore.net offers an opportunity for you to get advanced training from me. And all you have to do is go in and opt in and give me your name and email address. And from there, you'll be getting emails from me so that will help you to understand the approach to wellness. I've been a personal trainer and a fitness professional for more than 25 years. And so I have a lot of data stored up, and I would just really like to help you. So today, this wellness ingredient 3 is nutrition and understanding food. Okay, so that's kind of a 2-prong approach to understanding eating, okay, and what it is to eat, okay. There's a little bit more to it, but we'll start with that, okay? So understanding about food and nutrition, I want you to understand that the approach that I always take with people and is to choose one thing that you want to change. While I'm going to tell you about a whole bunch of stuff, I'm not asking you to totally revamp your life, revamp your eating. You'll get there eventually. You got to start with one thing. So if it's a matter of you're not going to drink soda anymore, do that. And then the rest will follow as you're prepared, as you feel good about it. So, of course, when it's time to make a change, the first thing you have to do is see where you are. And the best way to do that is to journal. When I begin to work with a client, the first thing I ask you to do is to write a food diary for a week. That includes everything that you eat, everything that you drink. Occasionally, if you have other special things that you have going on in your life, just to get a reason and understanding behind why you ate those things. So you just don't put down that you had cake 3 times in a day. Let me know what was going on, who was at your house, what was happening, because again, it's not just about the food, but will help to build a change from knowing first where we are. Like if you're going to go somewhere you've never been before, and if you were at a place where you have holistic wellness in your life, you wouldn't need a roadmap. Well, you're going to go somewhere you've never been before, you need a roadmap, and this is what we're going to build. And the first thing you need to know is where you are. Okay, so that's why it's important to begin that. I'm a big proponent of journaling, and my book, The Zen of Weight Loss, is written about this whole process, and the companion journal is Your Perfect Food Plan. Now, both of those are available on Amazon, and if you put The Zen of Weight Loss and Sullivan, my book will come up. It's also available in ebook. Did I tell you that? Anyway, it is ebook, but Your Perfect Food Plan is not, because it's a journal. You write in it, and it will teach you how to analyze things about your life. And sometimes people don't realize what that is. And so anyway, that's why I wrote that book after watching people for about 5 years go, journal? What do you mean journal? So, and that can help you. There is definitely an advantage to tracking where you are. Hunters track their prey, and we're going to track our food and see how the body's handling it. Okay, so now that you have an idea of where I'm asking you to begin, pardon me, I want you to understand that, you're not alone in this trying to get healthy foods. there is just this glut of information out there about what you should eat and when you should eat and what you should count and all that kind of thing. And you know that, what is there? There's the, I didn't write down who that was, but I think it was the National Institute of Health that says 9 out of 10 people don't have the nutrients in them that they need. And that truthfully, we are a nation that is overfed and undernourished. Seriously, that is a true thing. So we have to be careful about thinking, well, I got it all together and I can go just about anywhere and get some advice on it. So what I always teach people to do is see the basics. You know the basics. Well, maybe you don't know the basics. So the basics are, you want to have fresh vegetables, more vegetables than fruit. Lean, saturated fat needs to be at a minimum, so lean meats. And then you need a lot of the healthy fats, right, which is the omega-3s. And also you want to do the monounsaturated fats, which you get like in avocados and almonds, and eggs has a little bit of that. Well, that's the omegas, sorry. So you have to make sure you get fats. Don't cut them all out of your diet. You have to have a good kind of fat, and a little bit of saturated fat is really okay. Also, the grains. Everybody, you know, is all about, you want to have the grain because it's the roughage and it's part of it. And I know that a registered dietitian will tell you grains are good. I can give you 5 sources that will show you that grains are not necessarily good. But listen very carefully to me right now. All this advice and evidence and studies, yeah, we'll talk about studies in a minute, are out there about the foods you should eat. You should have this, you should have that. And what I believe is the best individual to give you advice about that is you. It's your body. It's how your body reacts and responds to food that will help you to determine whether you should be eating it or shouldn't be eating it, okay? I have a client that I've worked with for years, and I think it was right after Christmas, she said to me, I can't believe it, but I've discovered that when I eat sugar, it actually gives me a stomach ache. And now, how did she figure that out? What she figured out was she had stopped eating sugar for such a long period of time that her body was okay without the sugar, that when she did eat it, that was the reaction that she got. And she got it several times when she had something that had a lot of sugar in it, whether it was a cake or a piece of candy. And so that's how she realized, you know, I really need to stay away from this. If your body is not handling food, you'll get like stomach aches, you'll have gastrointestinal problems, you'll have breathing issues sometimes from food, headaches. Headaches are a really big one, migraines. Unfortunately, I hope nobody ever goes that route with a migraine. It's miserable. Rashes. Let's see, what other sorts of things have people had? Horrible gas, belching can be it, or the other part of the other end of the system, you know. And so those are just some of the things. And I have to tell you, I am always amazed when people say to me, you know, when I eat this, it does that, because everybody is different. So everything that you know, people come up and say, well, I have this problem, I have that problem. I'm always amazed. Jerry Levesque, who wrote the books with me, Jerry has can do really, really well with eating fruit, and she does. And it's some of those things is, as we were going through and editing the book, that stuff, that kind of thing would come up, and I'd go, really? Oh yes. So I can't do it. I guess there's too much sugar in it for me. I know that years ago when I was a kid, I was diagnosed as being hypoglycemic. So maybe I am really sensitive to sugar, even even in fructose, okay? It's still sugar. All right, so that said, that's where we begin with understanding where you are and go from there, okay? Now, in getting the proper foods into your body, you need to make sure that you have enough food. And I know that on Life Health More here on Facebook, I had posted a picture and had some copy about the amounts of foods that you would need to eat per day. And it's volumes to get the amount of nutrition that you need. And it goes all the way through vitamins A, B, C, B6, B12, so it goes through all the vitamins and nutrients that we need on a daily basis. It's like a ton of food. Nothing I could even eat in a week. And you're supposed to have it every day, which leads me to get you to understand about the need for supplementation. Now, supplements are important. And you guys know that my affiliate program is with Shaklee Corporation. And I believe in them because they're science. They are science, and they just don't throw the word natural around because they're serious about it. And they test. They do a lot of testing. So here we go, and talking about their study that they did, a landmark study. And this came out, and I believe it was 2007, 2008. And the study had to do with, they had Shaklee people who had been over a period of 10 years taking supplementation as they were directed, on the label. And then it had people who were taking supplements from another company or none at all. So they were sort of lumped into one area. And then the other side was the people and they were taking blood. Okay. So it wasn't just, so how do you feel? No, we're talking science, people. Okay. So at the end of the time, the researchers discovered that the overall long-term health of the people who used multiple supplements was dramatically different, multiple Shaklee supplements, from the people who were non-supplemental or used them from another company. Okay. So there were 4 biomarkers. When you go to the doctor and they take blood work and they're looking for specific things. So what are they looking for? Always. If you have a thyroid issue, they might go there. But it is always looking for your triglycerides, looking for your cholesterol, looking for cognitive function. And I don't remember which thing it is they test in the blood. And then for biological stress, they look for C-reactive protein, okay? So those were the things that they tested with these people, both groups, the people who were the Shaklee consumers and the people who were non-Shaklee or no consumer, okay? And what they found that in those 4 areas, there were double-digit benefit, advantages in those 4 biomarkers. They were better by, the percentages were at least 11, 10, 11, 13%. Okay. Which, according to, and I'm speaking to a friend of mine who is a scientist, they said that's a big deal. That really is a big deal. So it's a study that has never been done before. And it was not a study that was done by Shaklee. It was a study that was done out of University of California, Berkeley. Okay. So I think that take note of that information there and understanding the supplementation. Not only important, look how much better improved, but they were testing against people who were taking Shaklee. Now, I don't know what the split was between the people who were taking nothing and people who were taking another product line. And they didn't divide it into the product lines. That information wasn't available. Okay. Excuse me. So I talked a little bit before about the body being responsive to foods and seeing what you can and cannot eat, what makes you feel glorious and energized and fantastic is the food that you should be eating. Okay. Now, the other day I was looking at Netflix and I noticed that there is a new show. Bill Nye the Science Guy has a new show on, and it's featured to be for adults, and it's talking about science. And this man is really brilliant, and the show is done in a fun way. It's great, easy kind of entertainment to watch. And one of the things that he was talking about was research that's out there, and his pet peeve for this particular show was about people who are given information about cures and, magic bullets and the pills that boom, ba-doo, it'll do great things. And cures, he was pushing, okay? Well, he was battling at this point. And he was talking about, here you have, when you have all this stuff that's out there that everybody hears, your friend Joe took this thing and it was wonderful and it really helped him and it saved him and it cured his cancer, or it cured his emphysema, or it cured his psoriasis, and it's something that there's really no research. So what Bill Nye was going back to was saying, in science, the correct way to do any kind of testing is to have it be a double-blind placebo. Now, this is not the only way that they do that, okay? But it's a double-blind placebo study, okay? Which means the people taking the pills and the people giving the pills don't know which is the real pill, the real McCoy, if it's medicine, let's say, and which one is a placebo. And a placebo is, it's not the real product. I forget what the words were he said that it meant, but it's not real. It's not the real thing. And so they'll look at it, and you'll always have a few people that feel better from the placebo in the final study, in the final analysis, but more people who are better, and probably the majority of the people are better with the real pill, okay? Of course, neither knows which is which. Nobody knows what's going on, and those are the results. The placebo effect is where people take it and think they feel great just because they think they feel great. And it's something, it's a psychological thing that happens within us. We want it so badly. We believe it because, some professional on TV or movie star said that it will work. And what's happening is people are spending money and losing their money. And that's tragic. And he was pretty adamant and pretty angry about it. And he has these little things that he goes and says, I need a minute. And he sort of steps to the side and then does this little sort of a cul-de-sac in his storyline to say, listen, you need to understand this because people are spending money that they don't need to. Okay. And I agree with him. Absolutely. I know that there's a section in the Zen of Weight Loss where I talk about the fact that, you can be somewhere, open a magazine and see this study, and it's this big article. And when you don't pay attention, you will miss that on the very bottom, in like a 2-point typeface, wee teeny tiny, and it says this is an advertisement. This is an advertisement. It is not science. It's an advertisement, and people won't see that, and they'll just go ahead and spend the money and buy the products. Okay. I know that at one point in your life, you've probably been guilty of this. I don't know. I think I'm far too cynical, and I have been a Shaklee kid since the 60s, and the company started in 1956. So I kind of came in early on. So I don't know that I don't remember ever doing that, but here's the thing that I want to share with you when they're talking about science. Shaklee does every year 100,000 quality tests that are on everything. Okay, they test for 350 contaminants and pesticides in all of the botanical ingredients that are used, and everything that they're using is botanical, right? There are 120 published papers in peer-reviewed journals, and there are 70 patents pending. That's enormous. So the history of the company has been from the get-go always to test it, and see what's going on. So I think that one of the best ways that you can treat yourself to getting this 2018 off to a good start is to do a health print. And I am offering this to you guys. If you sign up today, or when you do see this, send me a private message and say health print, okay, and let me know that you're going to do it. And then you go to, on the site here, it says lifehealthmore.myshaklee.com/health print, okay? And you take the health print. It'll take you 5 minutes. It's 20 questions, and it will give you a really well-rounded analysis of what sorts of changes you need to make in your diet and what potential supplements will help to support your body. Okay, I'm not talking about a cure. No. What I am saying is the supplementation that the gods that be, whether it's the USDA or the National Institute of Health or the CDC or whoever it is, American Medical Association, American Heart Association, those entities that say we need this much vitamin C, this much B, that whoever says that stuff, okay, I'm saying that you have to get that in your body. You can't eat it in food. There's too much, but you can take it in supplement. Not every supplement company is created equal, and there is, bar none, there is nothing like Shaklee out there in the supplementation, okay? So what I'm suggesting, take the health print, okay? Don't be a hater. Try it. Try it. It'll cost you nothing. And then you and I can discuss and see what the options are. I have my members, and I have a loyalty card for my customers that have been friends and buying Shaklee for me forever. I'm trying to reconnect with them since I've picked up the business for this year and trying to get people healthy as possible. So watch for this card you'll be getting in the mail. And for those of you who are interested, and if you sign up on this event, then I would be willing to offer the same thing, which is a gift when you take the health print. Okay, I'll give that to you also. And it's neat. It's something to help you see the product line. So if I go back to what Bill Nye was saying about how he's irritated with promises, I will promise you that it's the best supplement you'll ever get. I will guarantee you that it will help you to feel better. It'll support your body. It will make a change in your nutritional numbers. I will guarantee that. If the numbers don't change in your blood work, if you're taking the pills the way you shouldn't, you don't even have to tell me, I took it this way, I took it that way. Shaklee has 100% money back guarantee. So if you take products that you purchase, you're not going to be swindled. It's not one of those schemes where people will just promise you something and promise cures. No one in Shaklee ever promises cures. What we promise is a good product that can help you to feel better and get the nutrients that you need in your body. I've told you how it's helped me, and I hope you will take the time to make some changes for you. Now, this was 3. 4, we're going to talk about on Monday, sleep and recovery. And sleep is very important. It's another ingredient for that holistic wellness. And the intention, my plan, my deepest desire and passion is for you to become the best version of yourself possible. Take care. Bye now.